up? Here's Circle Debate Podcast, episode 59, ladies and gentlemen. As we're going to go ahead and discuss, give our thoughts, the aftermath of Impact Wrestling Against All Odds, and also giving our thoughts about NXT TakeOver in your house pay-per-view as well. Pro Wrestling News, discussing a return of a fellow NXT alumni, and also mutual interest on two former WWE superstars to All Elite late happening fruition, and also more New Japan news, and of course reviewing tonight's AEW Dynamite's main event and Hell in a Cell, as everybody's been asking for. We're not going to review it too much, but you'll hear our thoughts about it. As don't go anywhere, as episode 59 starts right now. Welcome everyone to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode 59. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, 59 episodes in. We're almost there to that rolling 60s, and then from there we're going to go on and more. 41 more episodes to go to hit that number 100. We cannot wait to give you this one. I've been C here with my other hosts, my familia, the West Side faction, the West faction of all time. The evolution is a mystery. But, of course, we're missing our director. He's currently directing his band to get ready for June 27th. That's why he's not here, ladies and gentlemen. Here enjoying this hot summer weather in California. With, of course, which is the reason why he's wearing a damn shower cap, which I don't understand why. And that is, of course, the god amongst insects of podcasting himself. That is Mr. MGC Matthew Don Shower Cap Callus Steamboat.
Here's the intro.
Chug.
Carbonation. All clean.
And that's how you stay cool, ladies and gentlemen, here in Southern California with this hot weather with a carbonation cabron. Carbonation. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this man needs an introduction. I just wish we could play that Omega song that did, for him. But yes, because you know why? Because he is a multi-time recording artist, a graduate from Cal State Dominguez Hills. He's also a 2018, 19, 20, and soon to be 21 World Karaoke Champion out at the Brass Monkeys Open. I worked there, so he will be there defending his title, becoming the fourth time World Karaoke Champion. Because you know why? Because he lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Minnesota, Canada, because he is the master of disaster, the king of sting, the man with the plan, Money Mike Lopez.
Yes, episode 59. Man, we're getting up there in those numbers. Can't wait. Let's do this.
That is right. You got it right, Money Mike, the god of podcasting right here, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say it. And by the way, the tribal chief of podcasting did answer your call, if you saw in the comments. Yes, he wants that debate, so we will have to schedule that debate.
Well, hold on a second. I heard nothing.
I think you haven't checked the comments.
You need to speak a little louder, sir, so that the god of podcast can hear you. Come on down. All are welcome. Let's see how it goes.
There you have it, Tribal Chief calling you that. That's our brothers from Clark Street Wrestling, of course. There's a shout out to the League of Extraordinary Podcast as well. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend of professional wrestling. It was a lot. Saturday was incredible. Sunday was incredible. But let's talk about Saturday's Impact Against All Odds. Overall, the pay-per-view card was actually great. And even though we do not speak of Impact so much dearly, because we have so much coverage, ladies and gentlemen, but, I mean, it's up there. I mean, they have incredible talent that they're using with the roster that they have, creating great potential storylines that make sense, and I'm loving the action, man. So I'm gonna go with you, Money Mike. Your thoughts about Against All Odds? How did you enjoy it?
Yes, I'm loving it, man. I love it. I think that Impact is stepping up. I actually really enjoyed Against All Odds, and I must say that although I did not like the finish of the pay per view, the whole Moose thing and Young Bucks getting involved or whatever, I it's kind of a sign that the forbidden door is opening, even more and more and more and more and more. So I'm all for that. Of course, next level consciousness, definitely. Yes, sign me up. I will eat it all up. And yes, so Impact, 2 thumbs up on your pay per view. Loved it from start to finish. Um, what else is there to say? Great job.
All right, Mr. Shower Cap.
Hope it brings us closer to the James Storm, Hangman Adam Page possibly becoming a tag team. Just the fact that there's more Impact in AEW going back and forth, visiting each other regularly. I want to see these collaborations happen. And once again, I'll repeat it every week. I want to see that X Division title come to AEW, defended on we saw their top title being defended at Daly's place, and who knows, we could see both Impact and AEW on tour together. I'm kind of hoping that's what we see, kind of like their combined forces, like filling up the stadiums and everything, once they go on tour again. But I mean, I've got my fingers crossed for when they finally come to Los Angeles. So,
I am with you 100% with that. That's an incredible, fantastic idea because, yes, it could be like a Ring of Honor, CMLL, New Japan, kind of like a tour, like a one-time event, like they could tour together. And you're absolutely right what you mentioned, Matt. For the first time now, finally, we get to see 2 Impact stars showing up at an AEW arena, which besides Moose, challenging for the title, but also Sami Callihan, which now we know is going to be Sami Callihan versus Kenny Omega at Slammiversary, which I'm excited for that because now we get Sami Callihan and Omega. We've been dying to see that match, and it's finally going to be in fruition. So I'm excited. I was really happy as well with your fellow boy, Matt Kojima versus Joe Doring was a heavy hitting. Fantastic. I loved it. All Japan, New Japan right there. That's another great history in the making there. And also as well, that number 1 contention for the X Division. Man, Pete Williams still got it, man. Petey Williams still got it. I loved it. I enjoyed it 100%. And yes, I'm with you, Mike. That ending was horrible. I hated it. Now, let's move on to NXT in your house in pay-per-view that happened on Sunday. So, another great pay-per-view. I was not disappointed. I was not. We remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we always said that TakeOver always delivers, and they absolutely do. And I think from all the way from the beginning to the end of the card, great storytelling in each individual matches. I loved it a lot. I did enjoy. I'm glad that Xia Li got her win, got her upset. At least she's getting she's getting her push. We said it last week. If she wins, she deserves to get a title shot to be the next contender against Raquel Gonzalez. But you never know. Maybe down the line later on, we'll see. That we would do not know, but we will wait and see on that. Then, of course, we see, let me talk to you, baby, L.A. Knight winning that $1 million championship belt. Great match against Cameron Grimes, by the way. And now, of course, that main event, man, that fatal 5-way was insane. I mean, they really trying to make, they're really making Karrion Kross strong as hell, like a Thanos for sure. We've been saying that quite some time in the archives, so make sure you watch the archives. But yes, overall, Money Michael, back to you. Your thoughts about this pay-per-view?
Yes. Honestly, dare I say, I liked Against All Odds a little bit better. And but that's not to take away anything from TakeOver. None at all. I will say that I am so glad LA Knight is the $1 million champion. That I wanted him to win. I feel like that title served him more than Cameron Grimes, Yes, and the attack after in this previous episode of NXT, his attack on Ted DiBiase, mwah, heel. It's what makes heels happen. Yes, that was great. So yeah, I'm happy about that. The main event, yes, Karrion Kross, man, that guy's Thanos personified in wrestling mode. I've compared him and Kenny Omega, and honestly, I feel like Karrion Kross is more of a. I feel like he would have had that much better luck with that gimmick of the getting all the titles more so than Kenny Omega. My opinion, hot take. So there's that. But yes, in the end, Takeover was fun to watch, and yeah, I definitely give applause to NXT. Yes.
That is right. That is right. Matt Showercap Callis, your thoughts?
So, the for those who don't know, Eli Drake, he's got a history with a lot of great, manager stable leaders. So him being with Ted DiBiase like makes sense because he was working with Percy Pringle when he was with Hollywood Championship from Hollywood for NWA when I forgot if Eli Drake was Heritage Champion at the time, but he's got like it's not always a bad thing when they pair you up with a manager and you're good at talking at the same time. So it's kind of like a tag team promo thing. So he kind of had that going on with Percy Pringle. So who knows? He could have the same thing kind of going on with Ted DiBiase and, just many, many more things going on down the line.
But he got attacked, though. Ted DiBiase, he attacked DiBiase, so you think that DiBiase will go back to him?
Well, they could cut promos on each other. Kind of, they could have a war, war promos on each other. That's perfect. DiBiase cutting on Eli cutting on, or LA Knight cutting on DiBiase. Yeah, he's got those light up shoes, them light up shoes. Got the shoes of a champion, like he says on NWA. The ladder match was kind of cool, and I didn't catch enough of it as I should have. Yeah, Karrion, I'm kind of wondering, we've seen him in some pretty cool feuds. I mean, what was it? Samoa Joe showed up. Was it the episode or was it at Takeover? Was it at Takeover that Samoa showed up at?
The next one on NXT.
So, we're kind of disappointed we don't see Samoa Joe in AEW. The prodigal son came back home, but we could see Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross. That would be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Now, let me get into that since you're speaking about that. Yes, the return of Samoa Joe has been speculating already as he was going to return to the NXT roster because everybody was saying that Triple H was not happy that Samoa Joe was let go. Triple H he highly praises Samoa. He's like, no, I need this guy. This guy is perfect. Great promo, great, in-ring performer. Samoa Joe got it all. And, and I'm glad that Paul Levesque sees that in Samoa Joe. And I see, for his age, he can still, he can still go, even though he hasn't performed yet because he's not medically cleared. But still just seeing Samoa Joe back in NXT, perfect. I'm glad that he's only exclusive to NXT and not to the main roster. I'm kind of glad for that. I am. It sucks that it's unfortunate that it's kind of like bad terms, that with the main roster and then now him in NXT. But I'm happy he's back home in NXT where he belongs. I think later down the line we're going to see Samoa Joe most definitely. Obviously being a major factor in NXT and in the Performance Center, might be the next head coach. He might take over. You never know that. So I mean, Samoa Joe got it all. So I was really happy to see him back. Him being the special enforcer for William Regal, choking out Adam Cole, like really pretty much like kicking ass, taking names, man. I love it. I love Samoa Joe. I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad that I honestly feel that I don't know what they would have done with him in any other promotion. I feel they could have maybe done not much with him, but you never know. But yes, Money Mike, your thoughts about Samoa Joe being back on NXT?
Yes, the great thing is, I'll start by saying that it's always great when wrestlers are able to find work, and in such a high level, right? NXT is definitely a great place to be. There's no doubt about that, right? And it's somewhere that he is very familiar with. He was champion there, so if he ultimately goes the coach route, and if I was in the performance center, I would want to get a promo class with Samoa Joe. That would be legend. Wait for it, dairy. um yes, so that would be cool. I'm curious though, if there was ever any contact between him and AEW or Impact or even New Japan. I wonder. I guess that we'll never really know. But
Rumor in your window was that they were. New Japan reached out and AEW. But when Paul Levesque heard that, he's like, hell no. He talked to Vince. He talked to everybody. I'm bringing this guy back. I don't give a fuck what you say. But he's only going to be NXT only. And I'm pretty sure he offered him a great deal to stay in NXT.
what that tells me quite an important thing there, that Paul Levesque has maybe an NXT budget given to him that he has entire say in, right? So by him going ahead and getting Samoa Joe, kind of be transferring him over after he was legitimately let go, fired, all that, it was able to bring him in, and I'm guessing he didn't need approval from Vince McMahon to make that happen. So in that, I wouldn't doubt if there would be another name, Braun Strowman, that goes over to NXT.
Interesting. Matt Callis, your thoughts about Joe returning?
A little disappointed that I don't get my dream match of Samoa Joe versus Tetsuya Naito. But, we never know in the future. Like, it depends on how long this contract's for. But, I mean, he's got a lot of... he already had his classics with Nakamura and Finn Balor. I guess that Karrion Kross is probably, like, the last on the bucket list. And, there's a few other... I guess there's Adam Cole and, a bunch more. A few more, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly,
LA Knight.
LA Knight. You could run through all of them. You could run through go through all those feuds for maybe the next 2 years, and then come to New Japan and get some of those dream matches out of the way. Minoru Suzuki. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of coming up with a Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, you okay there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm just getting of a little bit of Suzuki Goon in my throat. Minoru Suzuki Goon.
I love that. But hey, you never know. You still might get your dream match though, because if I understand that Nick Khan is trying to get New Japan to work with them, but it's not going to work in the main roster, honestly. I mean, if I would actually get Paul Levesque to talk to New Japan. Hey, let's do a 1 year, just like you've done with Ring of Honor and CMLL, NXT versus New Japan. That would be fucking awesome if they do that one time only.
That'll be really good for competitiveness, and you can get a lot of good matches out of it. I guess if you're NXT only, that would kind of work. I mean, Jushin Thunder Liger, he was still working for New Japan when he did his appearances on NXT. How many appearances did Jushin Thunder Liger? Just 2 for NXT, right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely, 100%.
If you ask me, that's good for business.
That's good shit right there. That's good shit. We got to make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Make it happen. Paul Levesque, if you're watching this, make it happen. That's right. Call us too. We can book you the dream matches that we want to see, what the fans want to see. Give the people what they want, courtesy of Dirty Heels. Love you guys. All right. Also want to say congratulations to Renee and Paquette and John Moxley for having their baby girl. Congratulations. We already saw that John Moxley's out of the picture for quite some time. So from AEW, so once again, congratulations, guys. I know that you haven't revealed the name of your daughter, but congratulations once again. So happy for you guys. So happy. Are we gonna see the daughter of John Moxley just becoming like the female version of Moxley, just beating the shit out of everybody, taking names? Ooh, I love to see that. That would be amazing. I hope so. All right. Speaking of mutual interest, you mentioned Braun Strowman. There was a comment that Mark Henry was given before on another featured interviews that he had. They mentioned about Braun. He is highly invested on Braun, but I believe he was the one that brought in Braun in WWE in the first place, because he scouted him and kind of brought him in. So Mark Henry, he's saying, yeah, I'm not the big one, who makes the shots, but there is mutual interest of getting Braun Strowman to All Elite Wrestling. It's just figuring it out pretty much once the 90-day clause is over to see where does it stay, how does it go. And likewise for Aleister. They're really highly, highly on Aleister Black as well to join the All Elite brand. So if that does happen, but the question is, who do you see a better fit? Like, this is like now overall asking you both gentlemen, who do you see a better fit? Aleister Black or Braun Strowman on All Elite Wrestling? So Money Mike, I'll take it to you.
I honestly believe Aleister Black is the better fit for All Elite. There are more matchups that I would like to see him in with people from All Elite. Imagine, him versus Darby Allin. Like that's a cool match in and of itself. Him versus Miro, him versus, him versus Moxley, right? Why not? Whenever John Moxley comes back, yeah. Him versus Omega, jeez. So many good matchups that could happen there. Braun Strowman, if they went in that direction, okay, I could see that. But like I mentioned before, I feel like he would be more of an Impact talent. I feel like he would fit there more. Him versus Big Cass, I would very much like to see that. Him versus Moose, him versus Sammy Callahan, that would be cool too. Why not? I feel like it almost feels like he faced everybody already in WWE. So, it was time. It was time for him to move on or to go to another company. So we'll see which one.
Definitely. Matt Callis, you're who do you think is better fit in AEW?
A lot of people have been there's like the internet wrestling community has been really getting down on Braun Strowman. But when you think about wrestling companies and who they want to hire, you have to think about how they feel rather than just the fans, because the fans are really just thinking about themselves when they think. Like, you really have to put yourself in like both Braun Strowman's shoes, Adam Scherr, that's how you say his last name, Adam Scherr, and the people that work at AEW or the people that work at Impact or the people who work in New Japan. Like, is Braun Strowman a really ambitious guy where he's like, I want to be the champion in New Japan, I want to be seen as the best wrestler in the world? Or is he in the mindset where I just want to work with my friends and do what I love? So if I wanted to work with my friends and did what I love, to kind of help the business out in general, and also, I'm thinking kind of on the emotional side of things, like the people working in AEW, like his relationship with Brody Lee Jr., -1. I think he'd be kind of great to be around as just like an uncle figure, a father figure, a mentor, just to be there backstage and be an emotional support. Amanda Huber and just everybody back there, just for and him and Eric Redbeard, just to kind of be there. Like, they don't have to be champions you see every week, just to be, I guess, because of the moral support and, the friends be together and the families be together. So if I was in their shoes, in their mindset, I'd want Braun Strowman and Eric Redbeard to be there, but if Braun Strowman's the first kind of person I was talking about, maybe bring him to, maybe if I was in his shoes, I'd go to New Japan and just go after that top title and want to prove everyone wrong all the WWE fans wrong that I can be the best. I'd probably hit a shooting star press in my first match just to kind of, if I was in Braun Strowman's shoes, that's what I would do. Just
I'd pay to see that.
Because WWE is has been forcing me to wrestle a certain way and not do certain things. But if my shackles were off, I'd go straight to New Japan, and my debut match, I'd hit a shooting star press and write a tweet just to shut everybody up once and for all about me and my wrestling ability. If I was in his shoes,
I love that.
You know what I just realized? If Braun Strowman, like let's say he goes to AEW and he wins the tag team championships with -1, he would have won titles in 2 different promotions with 2 children.
I love that.
Book it, Tony Khan. Make it happen.
I'll be pretty mind-blowing,
I agree 100%. I definitely agree with it.
Maybe it would be a good kind of tribute to Brody Lee, kind of like a continuation. I mean, there's a lot of the whole Brody Lee thing and that whole family, that's a very emotional side of things that everybody needs to consider, because everybody just has that perception. Vince McMahon's whole perception is reality, but perception is not reality. Just like McMahon says, like, just because they forced him to wrestle certain ways and that's not all of his abilities. Everybody's like, oh, he's 30 something and he's not going to get any better. I'm like, that's how WWE forces him to wrestle. That's pretty much it. So
I love that. I actually love that. Great point of view, though, Matt. I love that you put a fantastic, great point of view about Braun Strowman, and and you're absolutely right. Us fans, we can't be selfish all the time. We have to consider, of course, these individuals' feelings, their emotions as well, where they feel like where they fit. But you're right on point with what you said. I love that. Kudos to you, my brother, for saying that. All right, so congratulations also for New Japan for signing Fred Roser, full sign. Now he's full on sign. Want to go ahead and congratulate Fred Roser. Of course, man, I am happy for him. He's done a phenomenal job in New Japan, strong, and I love that. But you can catch, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time, of course, making his debut from Impact. The X Division champion, Josh Alexander, will be debuting on New Japan Strong versus Alex Coughlin. See that crossovers, man. That's why Impact and New Japan is working great. I love it. And I'm glad that they're having those, cross promotions, and also allowing Impact wrestlers to come to New Japan Strong and compete. And I'm loving it. So subscribe to NewJapanWorld.com. Remember that. Subscribe to that. And also another announcement that came out of nowhere, New Japan alumni now, because I think he already finished fulfilling his dates. Another one that retired, did not give an explanation why. Once again, is ACH. He just retired. Say, I'm done. He put like a blank post on the social media. Don't need to give a heartwarming story. I'm just going to retire from professional wrestling. And okay, that's how you feel. I mean, we know that ACH had issues before, even during the not the movement speaking about, but just overall about towards how is against management when he was in NXT for a very short time. So how he pretty much bashed on other promotions, and obviously we forgive and forget because he's a great performer, very talented, just like Leo Rush. But it's unfortunate that he retired too, and we wish him best future endeavors for your future out of professional wrestling. All right, now I wanted to go ahead and move on to AEW. Want to go ahead and move to AEW tonight's preview, the main event. And this is where I'm kind of curious, and I want to know what Money Mike's curious. But before we talk about the main event, I want to I'm curious to this one too. We're seeing Arn Anderson's son debuting tonight. That's right. Brock Anderson will be teaming with Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. So I'm looking forward to see how Arn Anderson's son taking the knowledge from his father himself and from Cody and from others. I want to see him in action. I'm curious to see that. We do have other ones. So we're going to see JR sitting down with Andrade. We will be seeing Penta, Kingston, and Kazarian versus the Good Brothers and Matt Jackson. We will be seeing, who else will we be seeing on this one? Oh, George Cassidy versus Bernoni, and much more announcements for AEW. But the main event, the MMA real fight between Jake Hager and Wardlow. So this is, I wonder how they're going to set this up. Money Mike, what are your thoughts, and what are you looking forward for this main event?
Oh my gosh, man! MMA rules. Are they actually gonna let Jake Hager beat the crap out of Wardlow? Because that's exactly what's gonna happen, unless Wardlow is an MMA specialist, a black belt, a 3-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu that we don't know about. Jake Hager is gonna mop the floor with this guy if it's a straight up MMA bout. I hope, honestly, I hope it's not like a blood sport thing. Sorry, Josh Barnett. I've seen 2 of your events. It's not quite for me, So yeah, I know. Surprise. So I hope it's not kind of like that. But my heart is open, gentlemen. It's open, wide open. So yes. Let's see what else. I'm looking forward to hearing Andrade and what he has to say to Jim Ross. What's his mission? I know he has that AAA match coming up, right? So that's huge, and huge for both promotions, in my opinion. So I very much look forward to that, to the build up to that. Let's see what other segments. I guess that was it, right? So yeah, all in all, this episode of Dynamite is going to be Dynamite.
I love that.
Yes.
Matt Callis.
Hey, so I want to kind of bounce right off of the mention of Andrade. The big thing, for those watching who don't know the history in New Japan, Andrade was tag team partnered with Tetsuya Naito, one of my favorite wrestlers today. And let's not forget, yep. We'll see.
Tranquilo.
So at any moment, Naito's not the champion in New Japan. He doesn't really have any feuds he's really deeply invested in. Like, he really doesn't have anything too big going on over there. He's not the champion anymore. He doesn't have anybody he's never faced yet in New Japan. This is kind of the perfect opportunity for Naito to do a run-in. Like, if Andrade is getting beat up on at any point in the night on AEW, his reinforcements needs to come in. Any Naito and anyone else from Los Ingobernables de Japón. And, AEW's got titles, Impact's got titles, AAA has titles, and this is the perfect time for Los Ingobernables to come in and bring in either one, Rush's or Naito's, either one to come in and bring in the cavalry. It's the perfect time. Right now is the perfect time for the cavalry to come in. They can't be right, and with everything reopening right now and everybody being vaccinated, what a perfect time for, all wishful thinking. Let's get an invasion from both of them. And it's a perfect time for an invasion of both of them. Let's get Rush and Naito to show up on AEW television. My thoughts on Jake Hager versus Wardlow. I don't know if it's going to be a full-on shoot. What was it? The Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart on Raw? Or was that at the pay-per-view, or was that on Raw? The Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart matches.
That was a Lions Den match on pay-per-view.
The same kind of thing, because those weren't really shoot fights per se. Not to pull back the curtain too much, but they could make it kind of like that, where they make it like reasonably violent, but just not completely shoots, per se. Like, because you don't want to put your talent out on injury. But I think that we might get a little bit of hardcore out of it. You know, we might get a few stiffies out of it, a few stiff
I know
drops.
I will.
There you go. This kind of stiff, though, sadly. The one that feels bad.
Right? I mean, I feel like this one, I know Mike is not a big fan. I mean, come on, it's more like shoot wrestling for the Josh Barnett one. And it's just that the thing is, with this one, it might be similar to it, but I'm hoping let's go. What about we compare it to the Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle TNA? That was a shoot, but there was a couple of them like, oh shit, he was kind of like really hurting him.
I don't know. I feel like we're opening a can of worms here with this whole Bloodsport thing. I'll just say this: you drink beer because you want the real deal. You're not going to drink alcohol-free beer, right? So, in my MMA, I want the real deal, as real as it gets, and otherwise, it's not really it. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Mike, what are your thoughts? Well, what were your thoughts on like Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn for their time in WWE? Like,
I mean, okay, both guys pioneers in MMA. They did what they were supposed to in WWF. They played that role of the MMA guy, but in the sports entertainment world, right? So, it was their time there was dominated by sports entertainment. So had it been shoot all the way through, Ken Shamrock would be WWF champion and Dan Severn would be intercontinental, actually, or the other way around. But I digress.
I love it. Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to seeing that. But like I said, once again, I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son. I cannot wait to see him.
Can I just say that I love saying that Brock is in AEW, and it's not a lie. So there you go.
Brock. Hey, you know what, Mike? I think what was it? Because there's a few AEW wrestlers who cosplay. We could have Brock from Pokemon show up on AEW.
Nah,
So,
he would be too distracted by fill in the blank female name.
well, if there's a nurse or a police officer gimmick, then possibly Brock.
Hey, maybe Abaddon.
Yeah, well, because Hikaru Shida is a big cosplayer, so she could show up as Brock from Pokemon. So that could be that's the first Brock we all got to know more than Lesnar.
That is true.
Get Brock, First Joy or Officer Jenny. Or to Ash. Dun dun dun. Dun, I'm a Pokemon breeder. Dun 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 dun. Pokemon breeder. Onyx.
Well, Matt has a little news that he wants to talk about, so go ahead, Matt. Let the world know.
Well, this is from the world of Joshi Wrestling, and she's a wrestler who, in Stardom, she was actually one of their top wrestlers, and sadly, due to injury, she had to retire very early in her career. It was a very Paige type of situation. I forgot if it was spinal or concussion based. But Arisa Hoshiki, we were just talking about, shoot wrestling versus like the more sports entertainment style. When she was in Stardom, there was a little bit more contact and more hard hitting. And she has kind of a background in, I guess, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. Like she does a lot of it. She does like a double kick type thing, like where you kick them once and you circle your ankle around or your knee around again to kick them a second time. She does those kind of cool kicks. Her name is Arisa Hoshiki, and she actually just recently made her comeback. But I think it's because she's wrestling a different style with less contact, she's able to make her comeback. I mean, I think that's kind of the same situation with Sting where, you're not working strong style, and it's safer for somebody like him to wrestle again. So I kind of hope we could see the same kind of thing with Arisa Hoshiki. She even had a rivalry with B. Priestley in Stardom. And B. Priestley, she was going to feud with Britt Baker in AEW. So maybe the whole Britt Baker, B. Priestley angle would be a good way for Arisa Hoshiki to make her way into AEW. she's in another promotion in Japan right now. I don't remember the name. I'd have to look it up real quick, but keep an eye out for her. So never say never. She'd be the best addition to AEW's roster other than Maki Ito.
Absolutely. There you have it. See, that's why he is the callousest of all calluses, because you give him 69 reasons why, and he'll give you those 69 reasons why. So that's how he is, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Circle Debate. Is knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Knowledge is key here in professional wrestling. He is
the invisible hand working its mad. The invisible shower cap.
I love it. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the last topic of the night for this short episode today, ladies and gentlemen, is Hell in a Cell. I know everybody wanted to ask, find out what our thoughts. So we'll give you our thoughts about the card. It's only by far what we know. It's a 5-match card. I mean, we don't even know what the pre-show is. Again, we've seen Lashley versus Drew McIntyre in the Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. We got Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. I still don't know if they're going to be in a Hell in a Cell or not. I'm not sure if I can confirm that. It is Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Then you have Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. And then also you have Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio. I could say that's the only match I'm actually looking forward to. Like I said, I watch SmackDown as much as I can, but I love it, though, because it's like, I can tell you that's the only storyline right now in SmackDown what's going on is Roman Reigns and the Usos. Like, it's I know personally, professionally, meaning as in, like, I'm not a fan of Roman's character, like, as the babyface or not, but I'm liking this tribal chief and what he's doing. He's kind of winning me over. I like it. And he did have a great match with Cesaro. And I'm hoping he'll have a great match with Mysterio. And I think Mysterio's going to put him over to the right direction, which I would like to see. I think Mysterio is a perfect fit for him to be the one challenging him. And then we'll see the aftermath after that. Once I'm pretty sure Roman's going to win. But, be insane to see, like, how this match Mysterio will put Roman over as a heel. So, Money Mike, I mean, are you looking forward at least for that match overall, the Hell in a Cell? Or what are your thoughts about Hell in a Cell?
I find it interesting that of the 5 matches, more of the matches are women's matches than men's. I don't think that's ever happened before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which is interesting, very interesting. I'm intrigued by the Alexa Bliss match versus Shayna Baszler. I wonder how they're gonna go about this, and is Lily gonna be an actual person? Is the doll gonna come to life? I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Other than that, I would say, yeah, of course, Roman versus Rey Mysterio. We know who's gonna win. Rey Mysterio is not coming near that belt. Let's be honest here. But it should be an entertaining match. And yeah, I mean, Roman and Usos, my bad. It's the Roman show. It really is. SmackDown is the Roman show. And it has been for a few months now. And so I do not expect that title leaving the hands of the tribal chief anytime soon.
I agree. Matt Callis.
Roman Reigns doesn't gain from making me insane in the membrane. Doesn't what was it? Roman Reigns, Fast and Furious, maybe makes me curious. But SmackDown can be a letdown.
Listen. I did not understand any of it. Why, you ask? I'm not at that next level consciousness. I need to get up there to be able to understand such a hieroglyphic rhyme. Yes.
Hey, I don't read the hieroglyphics. That's why I blurred my background. It's too adult. My background isn't all ages. See, it's even shaking up. That's how dirty it is. You know, that's why I had to make it blurry. Too naughty. Gotta censor it for the next generations.
Oh.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what happens. See what happens on this Sunday for Hell in the Cell. We'll talk about that, and then. But yes, today's a short episode, ladies and gentlemen. As we're all getting ready for episode 60, I mean, that's going to be a big one for us to speak. We have a lot to talk about, and might have a special guest. You never know. So just keep an eye out for episode 60. But once again, I want to go ahead and thank everyone for tuning in here for episode 59 of Circle Debate Podcast. Also, I want to thank to our audio platform listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbeans, Breaker, the whole shebang. Thank you very much for tuning in from the world of India, which, by the way, if you guys saw that WrestleFanet, we did compete on that crossover. But, yeah, unfortunately, Team USA, we lost. But it's okay. It's so fun. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I want to go ahead and thank Brother Bove, and, of course, Championship on the Line, Alex and Rich for joining us, for joining us on that collaboration. It was fun. It was incredible. I loved it. Great collaboration with India, and hopefully we'll do more soon with the rest of that, or any podcaster in India, or any podcaster who would like to do a collaboration. Hit us up, and we will definitely be interested to go ahead and do a collaboration. Why not? So,
Deutschland, wo bist du? Alles sind willkommen für Circle of Debate.
And there you go, because we have a German translator. We have Money Mike Lopez who could translate us for sure. So that is right. And also, I hope you guys enjoyed Jordan Cruz's interview that came out yesterday. So make sure you guys hit the like. Hope you guys enjoyed it. He is the championship wrestling from Hollywood Heritage champion. Thank you once again, Jordan Cruz, for joining us, and then hopefully we'll have him again pretty soon. Upcoming, special announcements are coming. Special guests are coming soon. Just keep an eye on our social media platforms right down below the description on the link tree. And also don't forget to subscribe at the end of the video. Hit that like button, that subscribe, that notification, ding ding, and get your weekly episodes, your top 5. Of course, you get Money Mike versus the Wrestling Guy store every week. They talk incredible, wonderful topics that it's either AEW versus WWE, or it could be any other promotion. But great topics that they have. And tune that also in as well. And, our match of the week, which another match of the week will be Money Mike and the Wrestling Guy. They'll be doing their match of the week. I'm not sure what match, but keep an eye on that. So they'll be speaking about that. And once again, don't forget our top 5 this Sunday. Our top 5 worst theme songs. Make sure you guys tune in for that. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in here at Circle Debate Podcast. We appreciate you all very much. And this has been the host of Divas One IBC here with the shower caps of all caps that he creates the gaps. Not the baby gaps, but he does it all over with his Don Callis hat and with the glasses. That's why he is Mr. Hatter himself, MGC Matthew Don Shower Callis Steamboat.
I gotta give the people what they want. That's why, put on a shower cap and be Don Callis at the same time, giving the people what they want, everything they want. If you're listening to this, Kofi Weedston and Brother Bove, I wear the shower cap to be with you.
And of course, we have the Master Disaster, the King of Sting, the man with the plan, the God of podcasting. That is Money Mike Lopez. He's waiting for Clarkston. He's waiting for the tribal chief of podcasting. And of course, the Nigerian Nightmare Hafiz for that challenge.
Come on down. The water's fine, folks. In all seriousness, Clark Street Podcast, you guys, thank you for everything, for spreading the word of Circle of Debates. I watch you guys too. It'll be great. We'll knock it out the park. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, definitely, we'll knock it out the park. All right, ladies and gentlemen. In that note, I will let Mr. Don Callis end it here for episode 59. Take it away.
Just letting you guys know, we don't make we make podcast history and lima beans. We make lima beans. It's part of that next level lima beans. That's all part of it. It's next level shower caps on a whole other level. You know, we're elephants among single celled organisms. You know.
All right. Like my IQ just went up like 5 points right now.
That's right. Money Mike, end it here.
Para todos nuestros amigos de Latinoamérica, hispanos, latinos, todos, no importa de dónde son, bienvenidos, gracias por escuchar el Círculo de Debate. Nos vemos en la próxima. To all of my English-speaking people, we love you guys. Thank you for all the support. You know, we can't wait to see you guys in person in any event, and stay safe, stay healthy wherever you are, whenever you are. See you on the next one.